hate problems that you just can't deal with, Brian. Soybean cyst nematode, it's a curse. You can't get rid of it out of the soil. So what do you do to manage it and still maintain and improve your yields?
All right, well, the easy answer is to say, well, don't plant soybeans then, okay? Go to corn for several years, and that's really going to lower the issue. Well, seriously though, if you've got cyst nematode that's just so ridiculously bad that it's taking 20, 30 bushels off your yield, even when you're planting a cyst bean, then switch away for a few years. That's your best bet. But in most cases, it's not taking 20 or 30 bushels. It's probably taking 2 to 5, maybe 10, and there certainly are management strategies you can use to get those bushels back.
If you've got soybean cyst nematodes in your area and you think, well, I don't have them on my farm, do a little bit of testing. The nematode levels are going to fluctuate throughout the season, so you may hit a time where there aren't high numbers, but you may take a couple of samples throughout the growing season.
What's the best way to test? Because we've had a lot of guys test. They come out, well, there's nothing. There are almost no nematodes out here, but I know I have nematodes.
It's tough because they're going to be patchy throughout the field. They aren't like the.
So go to the hot spot is the first thing.
Yeah, if you've got a yield
sample in the row. Okay, if you've got a cyst nematode issue, we want you to plant a cyst nematode resistant variety. The problem is there's really only one trait that's working good in good yielding varieties.
Well, okay, I wouldn't say there's one trait that's working good necessarily, but there's
in good yielding varieties. That's the trouble.
Yeah, there's a couple of traits out there. There's the Peking trait, which has been really historically associated with low yields. And then there's the Fayette gene, or the PI88788 gene, that gets used in almost every nematode resistant variety in the country. And that's the one that, okay, we see higher yields with that gene. That's why guys want to use that. Will there be a benefit switching to the Peking? Absolutely, in certain cases there will be. You really have to work with your seed provider on that in your specific area as to which gene might be the best play for you. But keep in mind, there are only 2 out there, and that doesn't give you a lot of choices.
One of the things I'm kind of excited about now is Chloriva Complete is out, and that actually does kill cyst nematodes. So that is a seed treatment you can put on your seed. It's basically a natural product that they found. So we've got natural soil microbes that are going to be in the soil that will kill the soybean cyst nematode, and besides that, they're going to stay in the soil, is what the Syngenta people have told me. So hopefully this could help our situation going forward. If we can actually lower our cyst counts, maybe the next time you rotate back to soybeans, you don't have as much of an issue as you do this year.
Well, rotation only works if you have great weed control, because there are a number of weed species that are actually hosts for soybean cyst nematode, and basically allow those nematodes to skip your rotation and be just as tough as ever when you plant beans again.
In most cases with soybean cyst nematode, what we find is it's not just a cyst nematode problem, it's also an iron deficiency chlorosis problem, or a sudden death syndrome problem, or something else, a lack of nutrients or whatever. So my point is this: if you do a great job managing every other aspect of your farming operation, then cyst nematode is not going to hurt you as much. So get the drainage right. That's number 1. Then number 2, fix the fertility. Get good complete soil tests, not just some of this stuff. Get the full thing, and then find out what you have to do and fix your soil. If you can solve the drainage issue and the soil fertility issue, you're most of the way home. And cyst nematode, yeah, they might still be there, and yeah, they might still hurt you, but instead of hurting you 10 bushels an acre or 5, maybe they're only hurting you a bushel or 2, then it's not quite so bad.
Now, the other theory I've got is getting compaction taken care of too. So if you've got all your roots just in a shallow 4-inch, 6-inch soil profile, you're just so much more susceptible to soybean cyst nematodes. Now all the roots are there, and you're going to find every nematode that's out in your field. If you can get some roots that go down deeper, even if you do have some nematodes up top, at least you've got some roots that are really working for you.
Well, once again, soybean cyst nematode is a terrible problem. You're most likely never going to eliminate it from your soil, but there are certainly things you can do to reduce the issue, reduce the populations, and yes, you can rotate away from soybeans even for 2 or 3 years. That'll really help the problem. But as long as you're planting resistant varieties, using a good seed treatment, and fixing all the rest of the issues, especially drainage and fertility on your farm, cyst nematode shouldn't hurt your yields that bad this year.
One other big yield robber is our Weed of the Week. We'll show you how to stop it coming up next.